For far too long, the topic of money has been shrouded in mystery, misconception, and misinformation. But today, we're going to lift the veil and uncover the realities that can transform your relationship with money and ultimately your life. I know what you might be thinking, Brian, I've heard it all before. The same old cliches about saving, investing, and budgeting. But I can assure you this is not your typical financial advice. No, this is something much deeper, much more profound. The true secrets to wealth and abundance are not found in the numbers, the spreadsheets, or the investment strategies. They're found in the way we think, the way we perceive the world, and the way we approach our relationship with money. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today, the mindset, the psychology, and the fundamental principles that separate those who thrive financially from those who merely survive. Let's start at the very beginning with a simple but powerful question. What is money? I know that might seem like a silly question. After all, we use money every day. We see it, we touch it, we exchange it for goods and services. But I'm not talking about the physical manifestation of money, the coins, the bills, the digits in our bank accounts. I'm talking about the deeper, more profound meaning of money. Money is not just a tool for exchange. It's a reflection of our values, our beliefs, and our priorities. It's a mirror that shows us the way we see the world, the way we see ourselves, and the way we see our place in it. And that's where the real untold truth about money lies. In the way we think about it, the way we feel about it, and the way we allow it to shape our lives. I know what you're thinking, okay, Brian, this is all well and good, but what about the practical stuff? The savings, the investments, the budgeting? Don't worry, we'll get to that. But first, we need to lay the groundwork, because without the right mindset, all the practical advice in the world won't make a difference. The way we think about money is the foundation upon which everything else is built. If we have a negative, fearful, or limiting relationship with money, it will show up in every aspect of our financial lives. But if we can shift our mindset, if we can cultivate a positive, empowering, and abundant relationship with money, that's when the real magic happens. And that's why the first step in this journey is to examine our beliefs about money. What are the stories we've been telling ourselves? What are the limiting beliefs that have been holding us back? Because the truth is, our beliefs about money are often shaped by the world around us, by the messages we've been exposed to since childhood, by the experiences we've had, both positive and negative. But here's the thing, those beliefs are not set in stone. They can be changed, they can be shifted, they can be transformed. And when we do that, when we consciously and deliberately choose to adopt a new, more empowering set of beliefs about money, that's when the doors to wealth and abundance start to open. Let's start with the most common belief about money, that it's scarce, that there's never enough to go around. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Brian, the numbers don't lie. The data shows that there's a widening wealth gap, that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And you're absolutely right, the statistics do paint a grim picture. But here's the thing, the scarcity of money is not an absolute truth. It's a belief that we've been conditioned to accept. And that belief, my friends, is holding us back. The truth is there's more than enough money in the world to go around. The problem is not the lack of money, but the way we think about it, the way we relate to it, and the way we allow it to shape our lives. And that's where the shift needs to happen. We need to move from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance. We need to recognize that money is not a finite resource, but a flow, a circulation, a constant exchange of value. When we adopt this abundance mindset, we start to see the world in a different way. We see opportunities where we once saw obstacles, we see possibilities where we once saw limitations, and we start to tap into the infinite creative potential that lies within us. And that's where the real magic happens, my friends, because when we shift our mindset, when we cultivate a positive, empowering relationship with money, everything else starts to fall into place. I know what you might be thinking, okay, Brian, that all sounds great, but what about the practical stuff? The savings, the investments, the budgeting? Well, don't worry, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about the power of focus. One of the biggest mistakes we make when it comes to money is that we focus on the wrong things. We obsess over the numbers, the spreadsheets, the investment strategies, and we lose sight of the bigger picture. The secret to financial success is not in the numbers, it's in the way we focus our attention. Because when we focus on the right things, when we cultivate a mindset of abundance and possibility, that's when the real magic happens. And what are those right things, you ask? Well, let me tell you. First and foremost, we need to focus on creating value. Money is not just a means to an end, it's a reflection of the value we create in the world. And the more value we create, the more money we'll attract. I know what you're thinking, but Brian, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a business owner. How can I create value? Well, my friends, the truth is we all have the ability to create value, no matter what our profession or our circumstances might be. Whether you're a teacher, a nurse, a salesperson, or an accountant, you have the power to create value for the people you serve. And when you do that, when you focus on adding value, on making a positive difference in the lives of others, that's when the money starts to flow. But it's not just about creating value, it's also about cultivating positive, empowering relationship with money itself. You see, too often we approach money with a sense of fear, anxiety, or even dread. We see it as a necessary evil, something to be managed, controlled, and ultimately avoided. But the truth is, money is a neutral energy. It's neither good nor bad. It's simply a tool that we can use to create the life we want. And when we approach money with a sense of gratitude, appreciation, and abundance, that's when the real magic starts to happen. I know what you might be thinking. Okay, Brian, that all sounds great, but what about the practical stuff? The savings, the investments, the budgeting? Well, don't worry, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about the power of goal setting. One of the biggest mistakes we make when it comes to money is that we don't have a clear, compelling vision for what we want to achieve. We drift through life reacting to the circumstances around us rather than taking control and shaping our own financial destiny. But the truth is, the more clarity we have about what we want to achieve, the more focused and intentional we can be in our actions. And when we set clear, specific, and measurable financial goals, that's when the real progress starts to happen. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, I'm not a goal-setting kind of person. I'm more of a go-with-the-flow kind of person. Well, my friends, I can assure you that goal-setting is not just for the type personalities out there. It's a powerful tool that can benefit everyone, regardless of your personality type or your circumstances. Because when we set clear, compelling financial goals, it gives us a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, and a sense of motivation that can propel us forward. It helps us to focus our attention on the things that really matter and to eliminate the distractions and the time wasters that can derail us. And the best part is, goal setting doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. In fact, the simpler and more specific your goals, the more powerful they become. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say your goal is to save $10,000 for a down payment on a new home. That's a clear, specific, and measurable goal that you can work towards. And when you have that goal in mind, it becomes easier to make the necessary sacrifices, to cut back on expenses, and to find ways to increase your income. But of course, setting goals is only half the battle. The other half is taking action, and that's where the real magic happens. Too often, we get stuck in the planning and the preparation stage, and we never actually take the first step. We create elaborate financial plans. We read every personal finance book we can get our hands on. And we spend hours crunching the numbers, but we never actually put anything into practice. And that's where the real opportunity lies, my friends, because when we take action, when we start to implement the strategies and the principles we've learned, that's when the real transformation begins. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, what if I make a mistake? What if I lose money? What if I fail? Well, my friends, the truth is, there's no such thing as a risk-free path to financial success. Every journey, every venture, every endeavor has its own set of risks and challenges. But the difference between those who thrive and those who merely survive is the way they approach those risks and challenges. Because the truth is, the only way to truly fail is to never try at all. And that's why it's so important to cultivate a mindset of courage, of resilience, and of perseverance. Because when we approach our financial lives with a sense of adventure, with a willingness to take calculated risks, and with a deep, unwavering commitment to our goals, that's when the real magic starts to happen. I know what you might be thinking. Okay, Brian, this all sounds great, but what about the practical stuff? The savings, the investments, the budgeting? Well, don't worry, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about the power of passive income. One of the biggest secrets to financial success is not just in how much money you make, but in how much money you can keep. And the key to that, my friends, is passive income. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have the time or the resources to start a business. Well, the truth is, there are plenty of ways to generate passive income, even if you're not a business owner. Whether it's investing in real estate, creating digital products, or even just optimizing your existing income streams, the power of passive income lies in its ability to generate wealth while you sleep. When you have multiple sources of passive income, it takes the pressure off your regular job or your primary source of income. It gives you the freedom to take risks, to pursue your passions, and to create the life you truly want. And the best part is, the more passive income you can generate, the more leverage you have over your financial future. Because the truth is, the more you can earn while you sleep, the less you have to rely on your active income to cover your expenses and your goals. I know what you might be thinking. Okay, Brian, this all sounds great, but what about the practical stuff? The savings, the investments, the budgeting? Well, don't worry, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about the power of financial education. One of the biggest barriers to financial success is not a lack of money, but a lack of knowledge. Too often, we're taught to rely on the experts, the financial advisors, the investment gurus, to tell us what to do with our money. The more we can educate ourselves, the more control we can have over our financial destinies. Because when we understand the principles of money, the mechanisms of wealth building, and the strategies for achieving our goals, we can make informed, empowered decisions that serve our best interests. And that's where the real magic happens, my friends. Because when we take the time to educate ourselves, when we immerse ourselves in the world of personal finance, we start to see the world in a different way. We start to see the opportunities, the possibilities, and the pathways to wealth and abundance that were always there, but that we never noticed before. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, I'm not a numbers person, I'm not a finance geek. How can I possibly learn all of this stuff? Well, my friends, the truth is, financial education is not just for the experts, it's for everyone. And the best part is, there are so many resources out there, from books and podcasts to online courses and workshops, that can help you to build the knowledge and the skills you need to take control of your financial future. Don't be intimidated, don't be overwhelmed. Take it one step at a time and trust that the more you learn, the more empowered you'll become. One of the biggest secrets to wealth building is not just in how much money you can save or invest, but in the power of compound interest. Because when you combine the power of consistent, disciplined savings with the magic of compound interest, that's when the real transformation begins. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, compound interest is just a fancy term for interest on interest. How can that really make a difference? Well, my friends, the truth is, the power of compound interest is truly staggering. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you start investing just $100 per month at an average annual return of 7%. If you stick with it for 40 years, by the time you retire, you'll have over $300,000 in your account. But here's the kicker. If you were to start that same investment 10 years earlier, by the time you retire, you'd have over $500,000. That's the power of compound interest, my friends. It's the difference between financial independence and just scraping by. And the best part is, you don't have to be a financial expert to harness the power of compound interest. All you need is a little bit of discipline, a long-term mindset, and a willingness to start small and let the magic happen over time. The truth is, the principles we've been discussing, the mindset, the goal setting, the passive income, the financial education, and the power of compound interest, they're all interconnected. They're the foundation upon which the practical aspects of money management are built. And when we approach those practical aspects with the right mindset, the right strategies, and the right habits, that's when the real magic starts to happen. Let's start with savings. I know, it's not the most exciting or glamorous topic, but the truth is, it's the bedrock of financial security. Because when you have a solid savings cushion, you're not just protecting yourself from the unexpected, you're also giving yourself the freedom to take risks, to pursue your passions, and to create the life you truly want. And the best part is, saving doesn't have to be a chore or a burden. In fact, when you approach it with the right mindset, it can be a liberating and empowering experience. The secret to successful saving is not just in how much you can save, but in how you prioritize it. Because when you make saving a non-negotiable part of your financial plan, when you treat it as a necessary expense rather than an afterthought, that's when the magic starts to happen. And the best part is, there are so many strategies and tools out there to help you save effectively, from automatic transfers to high-yield savings accounts. The key is to find the approach that works best for you and to stick with it. Let's talk about investments, because when it comes to building wealth, investing is the key to unlocking the true power of your money. In fact, the most effective investment strategies are often the simplest ones. Things like index funds, dividend-paying stocks, and real estate can all be powerful tools for building long-term wealth, even for the most novice investor. And the best part is, with the wealth of information and resources available today, it's never been easier to educate yourself and take control of your investment strategy. The truth is, investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a slow, steady, and methodical process of building wealth over time. And when you have the patience, the discipline, and the commitment to stick with it, that's when the true power of compound interest starts to work in your favor. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, what about all the risks? What if the market crashes? What if I lose money? Well, my friends, the truth is there will always be risks and uncertainties in the world of investing. But the key is to approach those risks with a clear, informed, and disciplined mindset. Because when you understand the principles of diversification, risk management, and long-term investing, you can navigate the ups and downs of the market with confidence and resilience. And when you do that, when you stay the course and keep your eyes on the prize, that's when the real magic starts to happen. And of course, no discussion of money management would be complete without talking about budgeting. Because the truth is, the key to financial success is not just in how much money you make, but in how you manage and allocate that money. I know what you might be thinking, but Brian, budgeting is so boring, it's so restrictive, it's so tedious. And you know what? You're absolutely right. Budgeting can be a real chore. It can feel like a constant battle against our desires and our impulses. But the truth is, when you approach budgeting with the right mindset, when you see it as a tool for empowerment rather than a necessary evil, that's when the real magic starts to happen. Budgeting is not just about tracking your spending and cutting back on expenses. It's about aligning your spending with your values, your goals, and your priorities. It's about becoming intentional and deliberate with your money rather than just letting it slip through your fingers. And when you do that, when you create a budget that truly reflects your vision for the future, that's when the real transformation begins. That's when you start to see your money as a tool for creating the life you truly want, rather than just a means to an end. As we come to the end of our journey today, I want you to remember one thing. The untold truth about money is not just about the numbers, the strategies, or the tactics. It's about the mindset, the beliefs, and the habits that we cultivate when it comes to our relationship with money. Money is not just a neutral tool, it's a reflection of our values, our priorities, and our deepest desires. And when we learn to approach it with a mindset of abundance, courage, and intentionality, that's when the real magic starts to happen. So don't be afraid to take that first step, to start your journey towards financial freedom and abundance. Because the truth is, the power is within you, it's always been there. All you need to do is tap into it and let it transform your life. Thank you, my friends, for being here with me today. I hope that this speech has inspired you, empowered you, and given you the tools and the confidence you need to take control of your financial future. May you go forth and create the life you truly desire, and may the untold truth about money be your guiding light along the way. God bless, and thank you.